think my computer. Okay. My computer is acting a little funky, but hopefully it's going to behave. Time do we have? Do you have 7 o'clock, John?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So it's 7 o'clock p.m. on Tuesday, August 23rd. And I'm going to call this meeting to order. John, can you do a roll call?
Will do. President Franklin.
Here.
Commissioner Colbert. Commissioner Duckett.
Here.
Excuse me, Commissioner Hanchett.
Here.
Commissioner Lott.
Commissioner Colbert isn't going to make it in because his flight in was delayed, and Commissioner Lott will phone in mid-meeting.
Okay.
I don't know if I need to say that.
Okay, very good. At least for the record, which is good. Town Administrator Kyle Snyder.
Here.
David Burse, Police Chief. Public Works Director Darnell Bond. Town Clerk John Hodson here.
It looks like Chief is an attendee.
Okay, one moment. I'll promote him to panelist. One moment. Yep, he's in now.
Okay.
I'm here.
Yep, Chief is here.
Okay. We will move on to the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. So we're moving on to review of the agenda. John, can you read through it for us real quick?
Yes, I will do that for you. We have number 1, call to order. Number 2, roll call. Number 3, pledge of allegiance. Number 4, review of the agenda. Number 5, the closed session summary from August 9th, 2022. We have the consent agenda A, meeting minutes, financial report, public safety report, public works report, and the administrative report. Number 6, we have reports for Arts Council, CERT, events, Green Team, Greenwill, historical, sustainable communities, commissioner reports. Number 7, business. A, appointing members of events committee and Green Team, board vote. B, blended meeting update, board discussion. C, resolution 2022-15, establishment of a bank account with Bank of America, board vote. E, resolution 2022-16, awarding town economic development firm contract, board vote. E, resolution 2022-17, life insurance and supplemental retirement plan, board vote. F, resolution 2022-18, adopting employee handbook and handbook update approval, board vote. G, resolution 2022-19, authorizing Park Mobile and agreement, board vote. H, ordinance 2022-05, establishment of vacant property and agricultural taxes, introduction. And I, citation policy, board vote. 8 is administrative updates. 9 is public comment. 10 is preliminary approval of next meeting agenda, and 11 is adjournment.
So I just want to kind of say Commissioner Lott is going to come in once we hit business. We're going to let her know we've hit there, and she will join us. Does anyone have any changes to the agenda? Okay. Then let's get started. I am going to read the closed session summary from August 9th, 2022 into the agenda. The closed session was held on August 9th, 2022 at 9:30 p.m. It was virtual. It was held under General Provisions Article 3-305B1 to discuss the appointment, employment, assignment, promotion, discipline, demotion, compensation, removal, resignation, or performance evaluation of employees, appointees, employees, or officials over whom this public body has jurisdiction, any other personnel matter that affects one or more specific individuals. 7, to consult with counsel to obtain legal advice. 8, to consult with staff, consultants, or other individuals about pending or potential litigation. 14, before a contract is awarded or bids are opened, to discuss a matter directly related to a negotiating strategy or the contents of a bid or proposal, if public discussion or disclosure would adversely impact the ability of the public body to participate in the competitive bidding or proposal process. And the Board of Commissioners went into closed session to discuss human resources issues, economic development firm contracts, and litigations with regard to the Old Marlboro Elementary School. President Franklin, Commissioner Colbert, Commissioner Duckett, Commissioner Hanchett, and Commissioner Lott voted to go into closed session. All the same commissioners were in attendance, along with Kyle Snyder, Kevin Best, and Ivan Lanier. No votes were taken, no actions were taken. We discussed Old Marlboro Elementary School and discussed personnel and economic development firm. So that done, we will move on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda, which includes meeting minutes, financial reports, public safety report, public works report, and administrative report?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
John, can you call the vote?
Will do. President Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Duckett,
Aye.
Commissioner Hanchett.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. All right, we will move on to the reports, and we can start, Commissioner Duckett, with the Arts Council, sorry.
Yeah, certainly. Thank you. Arts Council is working feverishly to get the Happy Leaf Festival all tied up, which is going to be happening September 23rd. So more details on that, they'll be sending out if they have not already. They're working on a flyer, pretty much trying to have an all call for more vendors and performers. So if there's anyone on the call that know that someone would be interested or has a talent that could perform, or a vendor, please let us know. Don't hesitate to reach out. There's more information online of how to communicate that. And then, and that's about it.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
Chief, can you take cert? You're muted. I can't see if you're there.
Yes, they had their meeting, and I can't remember the hours that they had, but they participated in one training event as well, I believe. That's it.
Thank you. Kyle, are you able to report on the events committee?
Sure, I can. So we discussed the Christmas Town event with Commissioner Lott was present for that. So she worked with the events committee on getting that up and running. And then also spoke of the movie nights that we're working on, the other events that the events committee wasn't fully putting on, but possibly being at, including like the car show and the Oak Green Highway event and whatnot. And we also talked through some of the horse show events that we're looking to do to get their feedback on that, the food truck events during the horse shows, and then also discuss the trunk or treat date, whether or not we're going to have it on the 22nd of October or the 29th of October, with the horse show activities being on the 29th. So we're still working through that. And they selected their board members.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Lott is here.
She is.
Sorry, Commissioner Lott. Is there anything you need to add to what Kyle said?
No, nope.
Okay.
So,
Sorry about that. I didn't see you there. All right. So then we will move on to the green team.
Good evening. The garden just planted a second round of crops. I also want to give a shout out to Kathy Anderson. The farmer's market has met a lot of demand. People want to be there. Dozens are interested. So shout out to her. Great job. The first round of crops went to the Marlboro Church's food bank. And that's about it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do we have someone from Greenville here? They're not that active right now because everybody's on recess except for us. So I spoke with them. I can say I spoke with them last week, and we just talked about, you know, the election, how all those results turned out, all that kind of thing. We talked about steps moving forward with regard to Old Marlboro Elementary School, just to kind of officially announce that the county is, through all the legal processes, the county is allowed to remove the historic designation. So we're now in kind of next steps to talk about what to kind of coordinate with the county about what kind of uses, and hopefully that we can have a good conversation about that and get something that fits in the neighborhood. Yeah, so then we can go to historic committee. Do we have someone from historic, John?
Hi, this is Patty. Can you hear me?
Yep. Patty.
Hi. So we met with the town on August 11th regarding the dynamics of road closures. A lot of changes from our original plan were made. So we met on August 13th to accommodate those changes and see what we could do to still accommodate this event and still be able to get the picture and have I guess a smaller event at this point. I'm gonna let John, well, for the town meet, for meeting the town on August 11th, there was Joe Erkley, Tom Cavanaugh, and myself that met. For the 13th, there were 5 of us of the 7 that met regarding the committee. And then we're gonna have another meeting on August 27th at 10 o'clock. That'll be this Saturday, to discuss where we currently are. But I'll let John, if you don't mind, give a brief summary of some of the changes that we are working on.
Yep. Well, we're very excited. Of course, we are excited to be honoring and celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Crane Monument in town. The plan that day is to have a ceremony in honor of the monument that will have several dignitaries in attendance. We did get confirmation today that the Naval Academy Band is going to be in attendance at the event. So we're very excited to have their presence and honored to have them. They will be doing 20 minutes of music in the beginning. They also will be providing the playing of the national anthem for the event. So we're really excited about that. And then we're going to, of course, the photograph is the main thing we're trying to do, is recreate the photograph from 1922. And we have working to invite people to really showcase and to honor what events happened back in 1922. So working closely with the historic committee, working closely with the mayor and the town, but I think things are coming along nicely. And I think it's going to be a fun day, a great celebration for all and hopefully everyone will come out and join us.
And just to add to that, I am working with the historical committees. I have 2 who have confirmed they will be there. I have a 3rd that's on the fence. Because these historical committees are large, their board members are large, I'm just asking them to send 1, which I think is a little bit easier for them to digest. And so what I'm asking each of the historical committees now is to at least provide us, at least 1 or 2 of their historical committee members. If hopefully the presidents, but if they're busy, then there's their vice presidents. And I think I'll be able to secure all 5 of those. We're also working on getting, I've reached out to Tom Cavanaugh has been working on it, so I'll know more on the 27th of where we are for getting the historic cars to actually, I guess, chauffeur the dignitaries down to the event. So I'll have a little bit more information on the 27th, and I'm going to probably be looking at sending out a summary of where we are. And John has been working on a program. So we're going to make sure we check the boxes on everything on that program so that we're well ahead of the game, considering the changes that we've had to make. But honestly, those changes make it a heck of a lot easier than what we were originally trying to anticipate. So that makes it
And
easy.
actually, once we get confirmation of the dignitaries, we can provide more information as we get closer. I don't want to announce too many things and then have something fall through. So I want to make sure we have all the I's dotted and the T's crossed, all right?
And I want to do a huge shout out to John for all the work that he's doing to secure a lot of this and making sure that it's going to be an amazing event. Thank you, John.
Thank you. I'm happy and honored to help everybody. Thank you.
That's all I have.
All right, thank you. And yes, John has been working extremely hard, and hats off to him for all the work he's been doing. Sustainable communities. Do we have, I thought I saw Linda on here. Because Commissioner Colbert isn't here. Okay, we will skip their report for this month and go on to commissioner reports.
I asked her to unmute. I don't know.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm trying. Linda, are you there?
Can you unmute the other number? The
I did.
240.
Oh, yep. Let me allow to talk. Okay, very good. Yep, I got it.
Okay. All right, excellent.
Linda, you there? Hello?
It's okay if we get a report from them next month, if or not, or after commissioner reports, we can, so we don't hold up. Can work those technical issues out while we're doing our reports, yeah?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna try to, just kind of be quick. This month, been working with John and Historic Committee on the Crane Monument event. He really has done an amazing job with that. We've had a couple meetings regarding annexation. We've had a couple meetings regarding the horse show and all the things associated with that. We had a community conversation on over on Old Mill Road. And we had, I think, 5 or 6 residents turn out. And then I was at movie night and there were about 85 people there. That's about it for me. So we'll move to Commissioner Duckett.
Yep, thank you. Attended one rebranding meeting about the horse show. And also the Arts Council, pretty much I reported on that. We're still chugging along on that and excited about this upcoming September. And then also still working with Christmas committee the Christmas planning, not, to get everything wrapped up or at least planned out for the upcoming holiday season. So very excited about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Hanchett.
Good evening. I attended the community conversation last Saturday. Sarah touched on that. Been doing the garden And other than that, I don't have that much this month. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Lott?
Hi, yes, I attended the events committee meeting and we just basically discussed more details about Christmas holiday on Main Street, the event. And more details will be forthcoming once we narrow things out. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, are we able to get Linda on to talk about sustainable?
Try again. Hold on. That's unmute. I'm trying again. Let me see if I can get her unmute. I asked to unmute. Let's see. Yeah, it's not allowing her to, it's not allowing us to unmute her.
Okay. Well, if there's anything important, email it over to Kyle and we'll send it out to the commissioners and we can put a note into the packet. But for now, we'll move on to business. So we are going to move to the first item, which is appointing members of events committee and green team. This is a board vote, and this is just so the events committee met and voted for their voting members to be Roberta Carter, Wanda Glasper, and Roxanne Reed. And the green team voted for their voting members to be Kathy Anderson, Michelle Coleman, and Stacy Jordan. And I think we can just, as long as we're all okay with this, we can approve it right now. If there's a motion to approve the appointed members of the events committee and the green team.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second,
Can you call the vote, John?
Okay, yes. President Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Duckett,
Aye.
Commissioner Hanchett,
aye.
Commissioner Lott.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. And there will be a nice certificate for us to sign for that. Our next item is the blended meeting update, which is a discussion that we have moved earlier in the meeting. Kyle, you can take that one.
Absolutely. So I've been working with the IT firm to get the blend meeting together so that we can have guests join remotely and whatnot. And it actually came out a lot cheaper than anticipated. I think I was giving the board some estimates of 5,000 to 6,000. It came out at just at 2,100, just over the threshold that we need board approval. That's just came in today. So if the board's good, we and would like to make a simple motion, move forward. Hopefully we can have all that's ordered up and running by the September town meeting. But pretty much, yeah, blended. You'll see speakers, one extra computer that'll be mounted in one of the closets in the conference room, and just some network cabling and whatnot. And then we can build off of that to put stuff live online, live streaming, and both through our cable access channel and other things.
So we have questions for Kyle. If you're in the public and you have a comment, can you just raise your hand now while we're discussing? All right, no questions, no comments, and this is over $2,000. So I'm going to ask if there is a motion to approve spending $21,113.39, or no more than $2,200 with NTI to enact the necessities for blended meeting. Is there a motion to make this purchase from NTI?
So moved.
A second.
All right, President Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Duckett,
Aye.
Commissioner Hanchett,
Aye.
Commissioner Lott.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you so much.
All right, we will move on to resolution 2022-15, establishing a bank account with Bank of America. Kyle, can you give us an overview?
Absolutely. As discussed at the board work session, the town's looking to open an account with Bank of America. It's the last bank in town that we don't have, we don't do business with. So I've been talking to their team, and we were discussing opening a bank account with the possibility of shifting some funds over into a CD fund. But we'll at least open a checking account to shift some money over to make sure we don't go over the FDIC limits. And it just, I know we brought up some options of online banks or local banks, and the board wanted to go with keep those local connections. So this is the resolution authorizing the bank account. Pretty simple, standard boilerplate.
John, do you want to read it into the record before we have comment?
Yes.
Okay.
Resolution 2022-15, session regular town meeting, date August 23rd, 2022. A resolution of the Board of Commissioners for the town of Upper Marlboro to authorize the establishment of a bank account with Bank of America.
Do any of the commissioners have questions, comments? Public, go ahead and raise your hand. All right, do we want to let our two residents provide public comment?
All right. First, I have Patty Calicott.
Sorry, just a question. When was this originally introduced? I mean, I understand that you all discussed it at the work session, but aren't resolutions and ordinances and things like that supposed to be introduced for review for the public and then voted on?
Not ordinances are, resolutions are not.
Okay,
Resolutions are, yeah, one meeting, but so this is a resolution, not an ordinance.
okay, great. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
All right. And then we have one more comment.
I have Joe Horkley.
Joe Orclay, Old Marlboro Pike. I just wanted to say for historical purposes, the reason that the town never had a account with Bank of America is that they weren't willing to collateralize the loan, and so we'd be limited to the FDIC limit. But it sounds like you're planning on staying within that limit anyway, so.
Thanks, Joe. I was wondering why we didn't have it with them. So that makes sense now. I appreciate that.
Okay. All right. Is there a motion to approve resolution 2022-15, establishment of a bank account with Bank of America?
Yes, so moved.
Is there a second?
Second,
Can you call the vote, John?
Do President Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Duckett,
Aye.
Commissioner Hanchett,
aye.
Commissioner Watt.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And we will move on to resolution 2022-16, awarding town economic development firm contract. This is a board vote. And Kyle, do you want to kind of show us the two firms? I think John has the two firms on here. And give a quick overview for public.
Absolutely. So the two firms presented to the board commissioners and the public at the work session. The commissioners were able to ask questions to both. And I think we also opened up to the public if they had any questions, just in case. And there's the one firm that the board, am I going to say which one or?
Yeah, I think so. When we do contracts, we have a closed session so we can discuss it without voting, right? And discuss what we liked, but I'm not misrepresenting when we kind of unanimously all were really, really liked the proposal that Better City put forward. So that is, unless we have major public outcry, go ahead, raise your hand now, or commissioners have rethought things, that's probably where we're going. So, do commissioners have any comments, questions, changes of heart? I don't see any public comment, but John, I think you need to read it into the record before I take that anyway.
I do.
Yeah.
Resolution 2022-16, session regular town meeting dated August 23rd, 2022. A resolution authorizing an economic development consulting agreement with LLC, which will be Better City LLC.
Okay. And no hands went up. So is there a motion to approve resolution 2022-16 awarding town economic development firm contract to Better City LLC?
Yes, so moved.
I second.
Go ahead.
Call the vote. President Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Duckett,
Aye.
Commissioner Hanchett,
Aye.
Commissioner Lott.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. And we will move on to resolution 2022-17. Someone's phone is now talking to us. Sorry. Resolution 2022-17, life insurance and supplemental retirement plan. Kyle, do you want to tell us about it? And then John can read it into the record.
Absolutely. So last month, the board had had our HR firm Insurity out with some of their vendors to address two of the issues that the town's been facing in regards to life insurance and retirement benefits. The life insurance is the fact that the previous HR director did not pay the insurance for life insurance, so that got closed out. So now we're reopening it with a more local firm that Insurity works with closely, and they had rates that were within the budget. So pretty much if anything happened to any employees or commissioners, there's the $10,000 in life insurance. And there is also options outside of what the town would pay for, would the employees can sign up for additional life insurance with that company outside of what the town covers, but the town covers the standard 10,000 across the board for the employees. So that's replacing the life insurance policy that we had lost. So that's still in the budget. And the other thing is retirement. We do have a employee who retired from the state of Maryland. So that person is not eligible for state retirement benefits. They're not able to enroll in Maryland state retirement. That's the town's primary retirement. So because of this, that person was not getting the full benefit package from the town. So the town is working with Insurity, and they found a plan that worked with John Hancock. So that will be the primary retirement for just that employee, and then any other employees who are in that boat where they've retired from the state or for whatever reason they're not eligible for Maryland state retirement. That'll be their primary retirement. And then also this firm also offers employees to kind of invest outside of Maryland state retirement, because Maryland state retirement is a very set retirement thing. Programs, it's like 6% contribution. You can't increase it or max anything out. So the John Hancock, in addition to being the retirement for that one employee and any other future employees, any employee can open an account with John Hancock and kind of be under their own plan with John Hancock. So it's just that extra benefit. And Insurity will help them set it up outside of town funds. So both of these are within the budget amounts. It's just kind of replacing the one company and providing the retirement benefits for the other employee.
John, can you read it in and then we'll do questions and comments? My dog's upset, sorry.
Will do. Resolution 2022-17, session regular town meeting dated August 23rd, 2022. A resolution of the town of Board of Commissioners of the town of Upper Marlboro to award a successor contract for town employees and commissioner life insurance, and awards a separate contract to provide a supplemental retirement benefit for certain employees.
Are there any questions or comments or public comment? Raise your hand. Seeing no comment, is there a motion to approve resolution 2022-17, life insurance and supplemental retirement plan?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, I'll call the vote. President Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Duckett,
Aye.
Commissioner Hanchett,
Aye.
Commissioner Lott.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you.
We will move on to resolution 2022-18, adopting employee handbook and handbook update. And I have been working with Insurity on this in the last week. So I'm going to kind of introduce it for you guys. And basically, we talked about at the work session that there were some issues with data input. And we needed to grandfather some additional employees in to the vacation and sick hours. And we also added a random drug testing policy. We clarified the overtime policy, adding on-call pay and event pay. We also had two policies that were put into effect under I guess they were in February. One was a vaccination policy and one was a COVID policy. And so Insurity advised that those should be incorporated into the handbook. So those were already adopted policies. We just added them to the handbook. So those are the changes. If there's questions well, John, you can read it into the record and then we'll do questions and comments.
Will do. Resolution 2022-18, session regular town meeting dated August 23rd, 2022. A resolution for the purpose of adopting revised employee handbook as a policy guide for all officers and employees of the town of Upper Marlboro, the town.
Questions from the commissioners and public, just raise your hand if you have questions or comments and we'll get to you. Okay. Is there a motion to approve resolution 2022-18 adopting employee handbook and handbook update approval?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
President Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Duckett,
Aye.
Commissioner Hanchett,
Aye.
Commissioner Lott.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank
Okay. We will move on to resolution 2022-19, authorizing Park Mobile and the Park Mobile agreement. Kyle, if you want to introduce it, or John, whichever one of you was working on it most recently, and then John, you can read it into the record.
Yeah, I can give the overview. So last week, John was working with Attorney Best to, and we actually tabled this resolution from the last meeting because the Park Mobile had their authorization to do business in Maryland lapse. So they've since fixed that. So now it's being brought back up again for an approval, but just to refresh everyone's mind, this contract is free for the town. All the fees associated are being passed on to the end user like it is for our current parking app. So we're adding a parking app to what we already have. So we're pretty much like taking different credit cards. We're adding Discover when we already take Visa. Is kind of what this is in the parking world. And Park Mobile is a lot more local. A lot of people in DC use them, and also Prince George's County uses them. So Park Mobile is already operating within the town at the Water Street lot and the lot in front of the courthouse that are county owned. So pretty much now people coming in can have a choice, and it'll tell them you can park in this lot, you can park on street with the town and county, or you park at the Church Street lot. So it's just going to be a lot easier, and we're just going to integrate it with our IPS parking system and our IPS parking enforcement. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I can answer any questions after John reads it.
All right, I'll read it into the record. Resolution 2022-19, session regular town meeting dated August 23rd, 2022. A resolution authorizing parking services agreement with Park Mobile for mobile payment options at town parking meters.
Okay. Public, go ahead and raise your hand while commissioners have questions or discuss. And I'll just point out that it does say in the first now therefore, it says pending them having certificate to do business. So I won't be able to sign anything unless that's in order. All right. No comment, no questions. Is there a motion to approve resolution 2022-19 authorizing Park Mobile and agreement?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second,
I'll call the vote. President Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Duckett,
Aye.
Commissioner Hanchett,
Aye.
Commissioner Lott.
aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
All right, we will move on to the next item, which is ordinance 2022-05, establishment of vacant property and agricultural taxes. I'm actually gonna have John read this in first before we start discussing, because I think there's more to say on it.
Ordinance 2022-05, session regular town meeting, introduced August 23rd, 2022. An ordinance requiring the registration of certain vacant buildings and lots, requiring certain owners to register a local agent, allowing for certain exceptions, waivers, and appeals to be granted, providing for certain enforcement actions, liens, and penalties, and generally relating to the taxation, licensing, and registration of real property, and adopting a vacant property and tax classification ordinance. Defining vacant development real property for tax classification purposes, authorizing the revision of established fees by resolution, allowing for certain exceptions, waivers, and appeals to be granted, creating, defining, and designating certain tax classifications for residential, commercial, vacant, developed, and agricultural use real property situated within the town and subject to municipal taxation, providing for certain enforcement actions, liens, and penalties, and generally relating to the taxation, licensing, and registration of real property.
Thank you. John. Kyle, can you kind of give us the overview? I know we've talked about this a lot.
Absolutely, yeah. So as the mayor mentioned, it's been ongoing, even I think through the budget season, honestly. So the first part, these part is the agricultural tax. So pretty much if a property is in town, which we do have a farm in town now. Obviously, a farm doesn't require as much municipal services as a house or business does. So it gives them a excuse me, a reduced rate for taxes. So once this is passed, we'd apply for the next tax year. It also puts in place the vacant property tax for both residential and commercial properties. So if a property has been vacant for X amount of time, there's no construction being done on it. There's no active businesses that we're aware of operating out of, and just kind of sitting there. This is kind of a tool for us to use, and other places have used to encourage economic development and making sure the owners aren't just sitting on properties. They're actually trying to find tenants, or if they can't find tenants or they don't want to work with the building anymore, they just put up for sale and move it through. So it's just something that Mount Rainier has done and seen a lot of success with. And it's something that we're looking to do as well. So we're going to be working to notify all the properties that we've kind of identified as potentially qualifying for this before the board. So that way they're aware that this is going on. We'll send some mailers out to those property owners so that they have a chance to have a say or let us know if their property is or isn't vacant. But pretty much they're going to have to register their vacant properties so that we know the owner information and whatnot, pay a vacant property fee. And then once it's filled, they can just let us know and we can take it off the vacant property list as we check it. And I appreciate the mayor and John working on this while I'm away. Pretty much I just passed the idea over to the town attorney, and they've been working with him last week while I was out. So I'm gonna let them correct me if I said anything and fill in any gaps.
I mean, I think everything you gave him is in here. It is ready to be introduced, but there may be some grammatical and other minor changes that need to be made as we find them. It is a pretty dense thing. So I've read it a couple times and had my eyes go across. But, public, go ahead and raise your hand while we're discussing so that we can, do any of the other commissioners have anything?
Yeah, I have a question. So, and thank you for that overview, Kyle. I appreciate it. And you may have mentioned it. I'm just trying to absorb it all. But so to how many days does the vacant property owner have before we will notify them of their property not being utilized?
Sure. So what we'll probably do, and we're going to be working through some of these process now that Kevin's drafted the ordinance, I can go in and see what he legally says we can and how we should do it. But pretty much right now, we're going to be doing some outreach to some obvious vacant buildings that we know of and those property owners to let them know that we're even talking about this.
Mhm.
And maybe we'll put it on constant contact and stuff, but so that way they have a say in it and let us know ahead of time, like, nope, we're going to get it filled, or maybe kind of get them motivated before that's even kicks in. But I think the bulk of its ordinance, once and if it's passed, it'll probably be a couple months until we really start working with code enforcement chief and stuff to identify some of these vacant properties and sending them some notices to register their property. The goal is we would want to know whether it's vacant or not, or make that determination by May, so that we can change the tax bracket for the county before their June deadline. So we're
So-
looking at a couple month process, and then after that, it's just maintaining that list.
Okay, so they have to be, so they'll be contacted to register, and then we will track from that
Yeah.
point on if the building is actually being utilized or not.
Yeah.
And
So-
if it's not, then we will reach out to them to let them know that a fee will be assessed.
Correct, yeah, so we'll let them know, we'll give them a chance to either say like, no, it's not vacant, because there's some exceptions in this ordinance, so if they qualify for any of those exceptions, they gotta let us know. But they can let us know, hey, look, there is a business operating out of there, there's someone moving in. And that way we're like, okay, yep, well, we don't have them registered with their business license or whatever, like make sure they get their business license so we know that they exist, have that confirmation, and then we'll take them off. Or if they say, no, I got a valid county building permit, I'm doing renovations before someone can move in, then we would take them off the list. Or it's just recently gotten sold, so if the property owner sells it, but we also put in here some clause of making sure a property owner doesn't just create a business name and transfer it. And they still own it. We have it, so pretty much they have to transfer it to a completely separate entity. So that way they can't kind of bypass it that way. So there's a couple exemptions, and so we'll send the letters out, like we've identified your property as potentially being vacant. If it is vacant, this is the process to register. If it's not, let us know because of X, Y, Z. And then we'll just work with them from there. And then hopefully by May, we'll have a list of, yep, these are definitely vacant. There's no way they don't qualify. And we'll send that list of account numbers over to the county to assess this new fee.
Oh, okay, thank you, that's all I have.
And on page 4 of the document, it's the annual registration C item 1. Says that if it's been vacant for more than 120 consecutive days, that's when they have to file. So I think from what you guys are saying, a question for Kevin is, do we need to clarify like what, like once this ordinance is adopted, if you've had something vacant for 120 days, it's not like right now, it's like you get 120 days from when the ordinance is adopted. Is that where you're going or no?
Oh, are you asking me that?
Yeah,
I don't know, asking us in general.
sorry,
I
yeah.
mean, that's a good point. I think I was wondering myself. I mean, that's a good point. Like, is it from the time that we actually like adopt this?
Right.
Or is it from the time that, I don't know. So Kyle, that'd be for you.
It's a Kevin question.
Oh, it's a Kevin
I
question.
think. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, that would be helpful, you know.
Does it include residential properties?
Yes.
Yes, as of right now it does. And obviously residential, so if it's like been sold recently or the owner's been deceased, they have 2-year grace period and stuff like that. So it is residential, just to make sure no one just kind of keeps a house sitting unused, because we could have a family move in there, income tax and stuff, like people contributing, and usually vacant houses like that are usually not kept as well in most cases. So it kind of just encourages these properties not to sit around.
Mhm.
Even if they are well kept, there's nobody in them. Right? They're not really contributing to the neighborhood.
Mhm.
Are there any other commissioner comments or questions? Because we have one public comment. Okay, we'll go to the public comment.
Joe Clay, Old Marlboro Pike. I guess my real concern here is that the penalty for vacant properties seems to be as a tax, but the landholder that seems to be holding a lot of vacant properties in town is exempt. And so I don't know if there's a way to set some other penalty for the county when they keep vacant properties.
That's probably also.
Did my audio go through?
No, we heard you. So
Nice.
what I wrote down is how do we deal with vacant property that is exempt, tax exempt? Okay. Any other comments? All right. This is just an introduction, so we don't need to vote on it. We will keep discussing it, and I will have to, Kyle and I will both have to read it a few more times and talk with Kevin about it. And if you guys have other things, yeah, let us know. Okay, so we'll move on to citation policy. After we approved it last month, we decided we wanted to add additional language. Kyle, do you want to just review that?
Yeah, absolutely. Apologize, man. Can you refresh what we changed? I'm still trying to play catch up. Or John, what got updated in the citation?
I'm
document?
sorry. It's actually under a proclamation. Proclamation may be issued to recognize a day, week, or month in awareness of cause, unless other law requires otherwise. A proclamation may be issued by the president of the Board of Commissioners or by vote of the Board of Commissioners. In the case of board-made proclamations, if the vote passes by a majority vote, the proclamation is issued and all commissioners who vote in favor of it may sign it. If the vote fails, the proclamation will not be this is a Kevin word, promulgated. The board may issue further guidelines for the issuance of mayoral or board proclamations. So that section was updated so that the mayor's office can issue the proclamations and save time at public meetings. So, are there any comments, questions, public comment? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the citation proclamation policy as amended?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second,
Call the vote. President Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Duckett,
Aye.
Commissioner Hanchett,
aye.
Commissioner Lott.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you so much.
We will move on to administrative updates.
Yep, I can do this. First one is an ask for me. My town computer is dying, which is weird because it was the newest computer when I first got hired, and now it's the oldest. So I was working with the IT firm to replace it. It's just over $2,000. That's why we're bringing it to the board. So I'm just, I guess, asking the board to spend no more than $2,500 on it. It is in our IT budget. We do kind of keep a computer built in, so I guess it's going to be mine this year. And then at that rate, we're pretty much all our computers are up to date. So.
So Kyle discovered this today, I believe.
Yeah, it just came in. Yeah, the quote just came in today.
So he's asking for us to approve, or asking if there is a motion to approve his purchase of a computer. This is the reason we're updating the financial policies, because inflation, and it's now over $2,000. So is there a motion to approve Kyle's purchase of a computer for no more than how much?
$2,500 to be safe.
$2,500.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
I'll call the vote. President Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Duckett,
Aye.
Commissioner Hanchett,
Aye.
Commissioner Lott.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
That's all we need to vote on.
Yeah, and then the last one is the Pocket Park application has been submitted to DNR. Well, it's formally being submitted to DNR tomorrow, and then we'll find out if we got it or not. Greenwell is going to track it through the legislative cycle, and we'll know for sure in spring of 2023. So I just wanted to update the board on that. So we asked for $180,000 for the Pocket Park.
All right. Let's move into the public comment period. And we have one public comment.
Joe Barclay,
George Clay, Old Marlboro Pike. I just wanted to remind you, I probably should have done it when you took that first vote on equipment for doing a blended meeting, that you should probably use PEG money for that, as it relates to broadcasting.
Okay. All right.
next I have Patty Calcott.
Okay.
Hi, a couple of questions.
Oh, no, you're gonna.
Sorry. Sorry about that.
It was a lot.
Did anybody expect I would apologize that much? First of all, I forgot to mention that we are still working with the civil rights trails, looking for Frederick Douglass pictures. And I sent out everything I grew up in Upper Marlboro, to people next door, and from the historic out to all the TUMHC. And I'm getting a lot of responses, so we may actually get some pictures. I've got at least a drawing from the one of the alumni groups, so that was really cool. One of the things I noticed, because as you heard me, I went on phone because sitting at my computer through some of this is long, so I can walk around the house. The phone number is not on the agenda.
Okay.
So if you guys can add that, that'd make it a little bit easier. The other thing is, can you guys fix chat on the meetings?
For the committee meetings.
Yeah, because we have no ability to chat, and we like to share URLs and stuff
Okay.
within chat. And then the other thing is, if you have any, next thing would be is Brian and I are planning a canoe trip in the next 2 weekends. So if you guys are interested in us taking pictures of all the blockages, because Mr. Eshelman, when he was doing his book on the Patuxent, he's actually going to use a picture that we sent him of some of the blockages that were on the Patuxent with all of the bottles and stuff that we did, because he wanted them to see the difference between when it used to be navigable and what it looks like now. And I think it would behoove us to make sure that it is clean, especially as we're coming up on this big horse event.
I would like to see that.
So those are just kind of things that I wanted to mention. And the only other thing I wanted was to question was the old stone building. Can you give us an update on that?
Okay. So I kind of mentioned in the beginning, the court case kind of finished. The county does have the right to remove the historic designation. We had the right to.
No. The old stone building.
The old stone building. Okay, sorry. I heard old.
I know Kevin, or not Kevin. Greenwell is working with the county to add that every fall they do a county surplus list. So they're looking to put that on there. Right now the county's out, the county council is on their vacation, whatever, till September. So once they return, that's gonna be something they're working on. So hopefully we'll see that or have some progress on that in September, October, November. I can't remember which month they start pushing
Do
that.
you want me to reach out to PG County Historical Society to see if they're still interested in putting a visitor center in there if we are able to somehow glom onto that piece of property?
I'll let the board answer that. I don't want to make that call.
Originally, they had wanted to put a visitor center there. And they would fill it with our, well, we have what we have now in the display case, but any of the other stuff that we have, they would put that in there as well. But it would be a nice entrance into the town to be able to guide folks through the town, through the walking tours, etc.
Okay. So I'm gonna put that on kind of our list of questions to answer. But comment, it's been 3 minutes, so I will put this on our list of things to discuss.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yep. All right, are there any other public comments?
I do not see any.
All right, so we will go on to the preliminary approval of the next meeting agenda. What we didn't put on this is on the next slide, is that the charter requires us to appoint the Board of Supervisors elections on or before the second Tuesday in September. So you'll see in the next slide that we're going to do that at 7 o'clock. Sorry, John, I didn't mean to like get ahead, but I want to say that in case people start signing off. So we will have a special town meeting at 7, and then we will move into this work session so we can go back to the agenda and discuss it. So the items on it right now are discussing the rolling agenda, which is kind of a new thing John and I have been doing, which is keeping an Excel spreadsheet of all the items we want to work on. And then we can all work together to establish when each item is going to go, and we can review that quarterly. So this will be the first time we review it. Discussing the actual legal documents regarding the charter change, the financial, there's a charter change for the financial policies, there's a financial policies, and there's a resolution or ordinance, Kyle.
There's a charter change, a ordinance, and probably a resolution to
On the
adopt the policies, but we're not going to see that resolution. We're just going to see probably a draft charter amendment, a draft ordinance, and then some draft financial policies.
Okay, so that will be on the agenda, the agendas. Then the RFPs for the cleaning contract and the media contract, which were the ones we agreed to address in September. We're gonna have a discussion about recruitment and retention because we've been struggling with recruitment, and retention just goes along with that. The chief would like to speak to us about office space for police. The Arts Council has bylaws to submit to us. And then I'm hoping we can start talking about the vision plan so we can start getting more outreach and coordinating that in with the economic development firm. And then I thought at the end of each meeting, we should just add additional staff and commissioner items in case anything comes up that anyone wants to discuss, then there's a place to discuss it, because that's happened a couple times. Does anyone have concerns, wanting to move stuff around, wanting to add stuff, etc.?
This is Commissioner Duckett. The agenda looks fine for, however, the vision plan discussion, I can see that will be a lengthy topic, because it seems to be something that we're already constantly chatting about in different arenas. So if we could kind of push that back simply because of everything else that's coming up with this horse show, all those things, if we could just push that into the future a little bit, that would be helpful to get around all of this, because some of these discussions are going to be quite lengthy already. especially when I look at recruitment and retention
Mhm.
and the police office space. I think that could be a little lengthy.
Can we, I guess this is a green.
And I
question,
just
but-
want to avoid
yeah.
like 3-hour meetings. Honestly.
Yeah. Maybe, let's try to move it to October, or we can just, let's put it on the rolling agenda and off of the agenda. If that makes sense, we can figure out a
Mhm.
time to discuss it. Just because with the county budget season coming up, we gotta target some stuff, right? So does that work, John, to take off the vision plan discussion? And it is part of the rolling agenda, so we'll figure out timing for it at the beginning.
Off and remove it.
Sounds good.
Did you want something in its place?
I mean, Commissioner Duckett makes the valid point that this is a long agenda.
True, true.
Mhm.
All right. Anyone else have anything? All right. Is there a motion? Oh, right. Reminder about special town meeting, so we can appoint the Board of Supervisors of Elections, the board work session. That will probably still be virtual. And we'll probably have a blended meeting update in our administrative items. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second,
I'll call the vote.
Mhm.
President Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Duckett,
Aye.
Commissioner Hanchett,
aye.
Commissioner Lott.
I think she had to sign off.
Okay, the motion does carry, and that's it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Have a good night.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night.